Welcome to Ecomm, Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show. It is Friday, January 23rd in the year of our Lord 2026. We come to you live from an undisclosed location just outside of Austin, Texas, and a winter storm is upon us. Not literally right now. It's still in the 50s and 60s, and it's beautiful outside, but the grocery aisles are empty. Texans everywhere are hunkering down, but we are here for you. We are here for you, and we got a jam-packed show to you today. Wouldn't be possible without our partner, Siguno Postscript AMP. Dave Stickland, co-founder and president at Popsmith, is going to join us on the show. ChatGPT, they're going to take 4% of all those nice instant checkouts we were promised. They're going to take their fair share. Google is not. They're going to come in a different strategy and way for purchases through Gemini. TikTok has rolled out a new black box for us all to play with. BuzzBallz, creator of fine cocktail ready-to-drinks, has rolled out a $35,000 engagement ring. And there may be more there for us to dig into. And finally, we'll wrap up the show with Mehtab's new marketing hack that he dropped upon us yesterday. You can get the marketing calendar for your competitors, turns out. You just need a fancy little prompt to put into your favorite LLM. As always, I am joined by producer Carson and my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get inside of this show, sir.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
We're surviving the winter apocalypse.
Yes. That is right. We will survive the winter apocalypse. I'm not prepared at all, as you know. Other than having my outside faucets covered, we need to go and grab some essentials. Yeah. I'd like to start our show off today with a little good news. Don't you think that's appropriate?
I need it.
Yeah, we all need it. We need some good news, especially if we're all going to be out of power in the southern half of the United States for about a week or so with no internet. We're still going to live stream somehow. We'll figure it out. But if we're all going to endure the oncoming winter apocalypse, we need a little good news. I think the internet needs it too. Carson, we're going to transition here, and I'll hit the music, you hit the overlay. Hot jobs.
I love it.
Caliente. Hot jobs. You know, the good news is AGI is not here yet, and there are still great companies among us that are hiring humans. Let's go forward here to our first one, Carson. Tell us about this, Colin. No. Is this our first one? Okay, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. Roan, e-commerce and marketplace manager, creator of fine wares. Does this fire you up? Would you be interested in this one if you weren't where you already are?
Absolutely. This is a sweet gig. This is so awesome. This also has some favorable VC funding behind it. They're on a rocket ship right now. I would gobble this up if I was, trying to get into this exact role. I would go after this hard. I would go after this really hard.
If somebody's got VC funding, it's a good idea. Go ahead and apply. For sure. Go ahead and apply. I don't really know Roan that much. I just know this signature brand label embroidery of theirs. Whenever I see it, I know exactly who they are. Do they sell women's stuff? Or is it men's stuff too? What's the breakout on that?
I think it's primarily men's is the focus, and it is very much to the same demographic as Fiore. Yeah. And so I kind of hold those two akin. And so their biggest competitor right now in the marketplace is Lululemon. Okay. Fiore has been taking some absolute shots at Lululemon, and they've been winning successfully. If you roll out some of their store rollouts that Fiore is doing, Roan can be doing the same thing. But this is obviously e-commerce and marketplace manager. This should still be super fun. You should still have a lot of great experience here. This is also just a sweet brand to be a part of.
Sweet brand. Got real momentum behind them. They actually make incredible products. And hey, if you can get in there and learn a few lessons, that's nice to have on the resume, I would say. Let's move forward to our next one, Carson. This is but I don't know who it is because I can't see it yet. This is Day Soy. Is that, am I saying it right? Day Soy?
Day Sol.
Day Sol? Day
Yeah.
Sol? It's
Yes.
S-O-I though. You pronounce it Sol?
Oh, I thought it was Day Sol, but you could be
Day
Day Soy.
I thought it was like, when I saw this, you were fired up about it, which is why it's why I included it in here. When I saw this, I was like, what is this? Is this like a soy milk of some sort?
Soy milk?
I mean, what is it? It's S-O-I. I was like, is this like bougie soy milk? You know?
Oh my gosh. This is an alcohol alternative. They have been on an absolute scream right now. And I am, again, we talk about waves on the show. You need to be hopping on waves, not trying to create them. They are perfectly positioned to do a bunch of amazing things as an alcohol alternative with adaptogens, all of these things. You can also use them too as basically a cocktail mixer. So you can add to your favorite liqueur. This is incredible. I've been following the founder for so long and just basically been putting a bug in her ear. I've told her multiple times, I'm a fangirl. I've told her multiple times, you have an amazing product. And I've had it a bunch. Please, somebody take this job and let me know. And let me consult a little bit. Let me talk with you a little bit once you take the job.
Director of marketing. I mean, when you're in the marketing game, you have to pick the right horse. You have to pick the right horse. Let's be honest. Now, there's very few magicians among us. Nobody's going to scale something that is awful and has no momentum behind it, no cultural wins, no zeitgeist that it's in the vein of. These guys are absolutely the opposite of that. They've got all of the wins. To me, it looks like they sell bougie nice stuff that follows the trend of non-alcoholic, adaptogenic, et cetera, et cetera. This would be, to me, it's a horse to bet on. Somebody needs to get in there.
Extremely hard to scale this in D2C though.
That's true.
Because it's so ungodly heavy. So that is the caveat.
True.
When you're shipping liquids across the country, understand that the shipping price is extremely hefty.
Yeah, that's true. Let's move to our next one, Carson. This one coming up here, I was very interested in this one. Not that I'm going to apply, but VP Global Head of D2C for Lume Deodorant. I see these people everywhere, and it's fascinating to me how deodorant for our underarms has now gone to like all over deodorant, smell nice everywhere at all times. And I think of these people whenever I think of this trend, them and Mando. And VP Global Head of DDC. I mean, what a title. It's a great title. It's a great title. Not only am I VP, but I am Global Head of D2C. Are you aware of Lume? You've seen them before?
I have, and this would be a really fun job for, I would say the amount of creative fun campaigns you could do here would be a blast. We've seen it with Native Deodorant. We've seen it with Dr. Squatch, who's kind of in the same category.
Yeah.
You could make some really, really fun content with this brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. Hard agree. Next one, Carson. This one, I think, will be special to everybody. E-commerce product manager for Mr. Beast. Who does not want Mr. Beast on their resume, right? I mean, that logo anywhere on your resume at any time. Now, I do have to say this, okay? This is not a full-time position yet, okay? It's a 3-month contract position. But if you can get in the door there, make some hay, make some friends, prove your worth, to me, that's always a great way to start. And if you can prove yourself, you can get on the team. You can be there all the time, long time, or find another place for you if you turn out to be a desirable person to maintain as a teammate. I mean, I know many people in our network who worked with Feastables. It's a launch. It's a launch for the career. Mr. Beast, get in with Mr. Beast. Fair?
Fair. I would say you also have to be fully committed to this. So you have to really be fully obsessed and be willing to work 100-hour weeks and just be going absolutely crazy. If you're early in your career, I think you could. If you're later in your career and you have a family, I think this probably is not the job for you. But if you're early in your career and you're willing to work 100-hour weeks and just make this your sole purpose, your sole being, you could change your career.
Do it. Yeah. If you can, do it. And put in the hours, put in the weeks. Yeah. Build yourself some AI agents that'll do even more that you're not even asked to do. Okay, last one, Carson. This one is like everybody wants to work for these people. Dr. Squatch. Who does not want to be involved and in tandem with Dr. Squatch? International D2C strategy lead. Again, another fancy title. Yeah. That one looks great on the LinkedIn profile. International D2C strategy lead. Their humor and their product, and extending that, I would think, to Europe, South America, all of the places. To me, this one's nice. I mean, who doesn't want to be associated with their creative, their product, etc., and their terror that they're on? These guys are incredible.
The licensing agreements they've worked in the past and the influencers they've worked for in the past, in just the last like 3 to 6 months, this is one of the coolest jobs we have ever featured. They're going to give you the whole treasure trove of things you can work with, and all the things we've been saying on this show about, do great collabs, work with great influencers.
Exactly.
Do fun types of launches for campaigns. They do and breathe all this stuff. This is a home run. If you can get here, you can do the coolest things in your career. I promise you.
Make a friend, tell a friend, find your way in. You got to work those connections. Find somebody on LinkedIn that you were once related to who has a second cousin that already works on the marketing team or is somehow tangentially related to the C-suite. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. It's worth it.
Hey, dude, I pulled our ancestry DNA. It turns out you're my sixth cousin. What's up, man? Haven't seen that family functions.
Exactly. And it turns out that I am 20% Argentinian, which is where I know that you want to bring Dr. Squatch. I mean, this is match made in heaven. No, I don't speak Spanish, but it's a match made in heaven.
It'll work out.
You got to find those connections. Find your way in. Big news came out yesterday. Big news. It was disappointing for me. I'm gonna say that up front. This was disappointing for me. I should have expected it, I suppose. But the short of it is there are 3 things that are sure in life: death, taxes, and margins growing ever thinner by hither and thither, by any and all means. ChatGPT wants to take 4% of all transactions from Shopify merchants that happen inside of instant checkout. This is from Unusual Whales. OpenAI plans to take a cut of customers' AI-aided discoveries per the information. The information was who broke this yesterday. Next one, Carson. This comes to us with a little more detail from Glenn Gabe. Confirmed ChatGPT checkouts to take 4% cut of Shopify merchant sales. Remember, Google and Bing will not do that. So Google is taking a different route. Merchants' products will be available for purchase by default. AI checkout features that don't charge an additional fee. He's talking about Google here, I believe. Merchants will pay OpenAI a 4% fee on sales made through ChatGPT's checkout feature. A Shopify spokesperson confirmed, on top of typical transaction fees Shopify charges. And then, guys, we have to think about, okay, what about if I bought an ad inside of OpenAI's ecosystem? I've got my ad placement. Then I've got Shopify's normal cut. Then now I've got OpenAI's cut. I wonder if there's any cut left for me. Do I have any dollars and cents left for me? Let's go to the next one, Carson. Last one here. This is from Glenn Gabe as well. The combo of Google's shopping graph plus Merchant Center plus YouTube provides a huge advantage over OpenAI. Google flips OpenAI's shopping strategy on its head. The company has no plans right now to take a cut of purchases made in the Gemini app or Google's AI mode search results, the spokesperson said. Instead, it plans to make money from its AI shopping push by selling a new type of ads to retailers. I think what he's talking about here is their direct offers. I think that's what he's talking about.
Exactly.
So we've got this juxtaposition. We've got OpenAI. It's very clear Sam needs to make some money. He needs to bring some more revenue in. And not only is he going to allow us to buy ads, but he's going to be taking some of that sweet mashugana that is flowing through. He's going to take some of that sugar on top and keep it for himself, in addition to all the other expenses that people in our ecosystem are prepared for. What was your thought, your reaction to this at first blush? What'd you think?
Bullish on Google.
Yes.
This is not fun. Immediately when I thought about this, I thought, okay, are they going to let me break out categories that are then applicable to only the ChatGPT feed? If possible, I'm probably then going to duplicate my store and then change my margins on all of those duplicated products with an additional 4% upcharge.
Oh, wow.
And then if that comes through, that's fine, because now I've just basically, it's kind of like baking in shipping into the cost of the product. I've baked in OpenAI into the cost of the product because I know it's only getting featured on the OpenAI feed. So if you come through OpenAI, the whole thing gets baked in, and then you're just paying the flat ad cost at that point. So
you would pass the cost on to consumers, Colin? I'm just shocked at you. Evil. No, I'm kidding.
You have to. The margin's brutal here.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't a charity,
Yeah.
Where we are actually trying to run a business. Yeah. But I find it interesting. You would want to develop a separate feed. I didn't even think about that. I thought,
just
okay, maybe I'll
the whole thing.
Raise all prices, just bake in an extra 4%. And if they get it through OpenAI, they get it through Shopify, etc. But that's interesting. I like that thought. I do think, like you said, this means that prices go up. Even, you got to add in what's going to happen with tariffs. And then, of course, we've got Shopify standard agreement with them, and we've got ad costs. I don't know. Is ads going to be a better buy? Are we going to get a little more margin if we're working inside of OpenAI instead of Meta or instead of other places? What's the delta? And does that 4% make sense? I do hate this for the one-man brand. I hate this for up-and-coming brand owners, marketing teams of one who are already in a corner and just trying to find just a few extra cents that they can throw into the bank account as everything gets squeezed, speaking on manufacturing side, tariffs, etc. In a sense, this isn't, it's not ads, it's a distribution toll. And now there's the ad tax as well. If you want to run an ad, great. We'll charge you for that. But if somebody wants to make a purchase through discovering us right here and there, it's so easy. It's so nice. That's the distribution toll. You got to pay the man. I wish this were otherwise, but it makes all the sense in the world. The guy's got to make money. He's raised so much money. And the only question left for me is how much are my ad costs going to be on that platform? That's the question.
That's the elephant in the room right now, where it's like, okay, this could make sense if the ad costs are extremely cheap.
Yeah.
It could make sense. We kind of have to wait and see. So we don't know.
Here's one thing. And perhaps no one would use instant checkout for buying luxury furniture, but 4% could be a lot more depending on, how high your average order value is. 4% is not a small thing, especially if you're selling a lot.
Oh yeah.
If it's $5, that feels a little better than 50 or 500. But anyway, I guess we'll see what the normative shopping behaviors are as this continues to get rolled out. And I just want everybody to be able to make money at the end of the day. And absolutely. I think this is a good question. It's a good take. You have bullish Google. Yeah. If Google's got all of these things in place, and if they're rolling out all of these other things, they already have the foundation that they already have inside of our industry. And I'm not going to get charged a percentage inside of Google Gemini. Why wouldn't I, push my chips in there? I still don't like Google direct offers. I know that you do, but why not? Why not be a little more bullish on that end and see what shopping behaviors may look like on that side as things continue to roll out and develop? TikTok has got a new campaign, a new type of campaign, and it's in the trend that we are already familiar with every other platform. This is TikTok's new AI-driven Smart Plus campaign. This is them saying, please stop thinking and let us take it over. We can do it for you. And hey, I'll take the point in general. Okay, I know AI is better than me. Okay, it can think and it can think faster and pull more resources than me. But you know, TikTok for me doesn't have quite the presence that Meta has. If Mark says, hey, this is the way it's going, and you have to give me all your tools and just hand it over to me and trust that I'm going to get you the profit that you need. Okay, you're going to force my hand. That's fine. I don't know if I trust TikTok yet. They're definitely pushing this. It's black box automation. Creative still matters, but it's not just people and locations and personas. It's also creative. Hey, we're going to work through all your creative. We're going to pick the best ones. We're going to higgity jiggity them, puzzle them up, and we're going to run ads on your behalf. So it is a really black box in total. Did you see this? What was your reaction?
Yeah, I think this is inevitable, and I think it's good for the brand and the brand owner. I think there's this kind of issue with the brand owner sometimes being a little bit like too emotionally attached to the actual brand and what drives success and the ad creative and all of these things. This kind of rips that away and lets just AI do it from a raw data standpoint. I'm a huge fan of that. Like, I really think the owner should be objectively moving the business forward and kind of being removed from as many emotional decisions as physically possible. I think this is one more step in that direction.
I agree with the point you're making in principle, but the fact of it is that with TikTok, much of the time, especially TikTok Shop, we're hoping to break even. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. It's a halo. Yeah.
Yeah. We're hoping, hey, break even. And as I've done this on TikTok Shop, I've been nurturing these creator relationships, and then I've been coaching them and helping them. Now I have this plethora of content that I did not have otherwise. And I'm going to take those and I'm going to run ads on Meta and every other platform that I have access to, because I've found some proven winners here. That's the hope. I think a lot of times people are just, hey, let's get in here and we're going to make money because it's the new hot thing. And that's not the case. There's still a lot of effort there. You're probably losing money month 1, month 2, maybe month 3. But the hope is you stick with it and you can break even. You got halo in other places. That being the case, it doesn't give me great confidence just to hand over more black box automatic control to TikTok. I agree with your thought in principle, though. You know, it's better for the brand. It's better for the people involved, multiple accounts, it's better if we can hand over more control to AI and it genuinely return us a profit, allowing said team to have more capacity for other things like IRL events, like product development, like, customer service, or, there's many other things to our business and what we do than just running ads on said platforms. I just don't really trust it yet, but I will say this one thing that it would get me excited. It does excite me actually to try this. Is they're offering up to $6,000 in ad credits. Anybody who's going to give me an ad credit, I want to do it. I do. If you're going to give me money, like, yeah, I want to try it.
Yeah.
If you're going to give me 6, I'm at least ready to try it for 12. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Would that do it for you?
Oh, for sure. Chris, you're a media buyer through and through. I mean, your thought on this, it's a totally media buyer coded through and through. But hey, if you want to give me $6,000 to do this, sure. Let's do it.
Why not? Let's roll it out,
Plus, as agency owner, going back to clients, hey, I have this new shiny opportunity. By the way, we're going to be covered $6,000 out of the gate. This is an opportunity I found. great little win for the agency owner to take back to brands.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm telling you, I'm a fan of it. You seem not bullish, but it's fine.
I'm skeptical.
I get it.
I'm skeptical, but you give me $6K to play with, I'll jump in the pond.
There we go.
If it works, then I think it's great.
Double win. Yeah.
It's a double win for everybody. Well, before we move to our next story, we should talk about focus. And I'm going back to Postscript here, Carson. Focus does a lot. Focus, being obsessed about a singular thing, it allows you to win in a marketplace where everybody is scattered hither and thither trying to do so many things at one time. Postscript is the only SMS player in our market who will tell you our goal is to make SMS revenue your number one channel for dollars into your pocket. I remember Alex Beller, co-founder of Postscript, called me and told me this himself. And that is a tall task to undertake. And I know you may be on a platform right now that does a whole bunch of things, and they offer this and that and 6 or 7 some odd other things. And oh, it's nice because all of my stats are in one place and space, and it's good enough. And hey, 2026 is not the year for good enough, is it? Not with ad costs rising and chat taking some percentage out of every order that's rolling through instant checkout. No, sir. We got to find all the extra dollars that we can have. And on average, when people switch to Postscript, they see a plus 22% increase in revenue. Now, I saw more than that. I saw much more than that. When I switched over to Postscript, we went from making nearly nothing on SMS. One of the first moves I made once I got in the door, we got to get over to Postscript for SMS. And within a year's time, we were in the top 1% account for their entire platform. Okay. So I say that to say there's more dollars for you to be had. And what you should do is go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks. And you're going to be able to see my kind of company, our vertical, our revenue, what's normal, and then how can I get there? Postscript will help you do it. Many thanks to them being a partner of the show. Colin, I was really impressed by this video from Gary V talking about the unplugging of Gen Alpha, and I would like to play it for everyone. Let's hit it. Carson, bring us up and play this for us.
Number 2 biggest trend in 2026, the unplugging of Gen Alpha, which is an indicator to the unplugging of every generation. Starting in 2026, you'll see more businesses like this. I've just talked about a business where you get paid to walk with people, like literally walk with them. I believe what you'll see, and you're already seeing it, I think experiential, music festivals, going outside, going to events, going out and putting the phone away. Private clubs that make you put the phone in a locker before you walk in. The forcing of the deplug is now starting to already happen, and more importantly, the choosing to deplug is happening. More kids want to take a hike on a Saturday, and I think you'll see it more and more. But I think someone like myself and many in the room right now with me as I film this will actually just start to do it in the same way we just started to exercise more. Like we're just all gonna be like, you know what? I need 7 hours that I allocated in 2023 to a phone, laying in bed doom scrolling. I need to allocate that to go.
This, I thought, totally on point. Of course, I have Gen Alpha kids, okay? But yeah. I think some people, when they first hear this, they'll probably agree for themselves, like, oh yeah, I find myself wanting more offline time. I find myself longing for an analog world. I think people 30 plus probably agree with that readily. Maybe even somewhere into their 20s. But I think the pushback will largely be like, oh, that's just parents being too hardcore and they're forcing Gen Alpha kids to do that, what they don't want to do. And I totally disagree with that thought. I see this in my own children. Are they happy to look at a screen? Of course. You know, we all are. We're all addicted to them. But man, there are products and there are activities and there are things happening everywhere I see now that are screenless, and man, they are most joyful in those experiences. And not only are they the most joyful, but they'll actually choose them, which is the point that Gary is bringing out here. I think this applies for more than just the development of D2C products that can be sold, that children will use, that parents will buy for them. I think this applies in much many other places in modern life and what we do. But just give me at first listen, what's your take on that? Is it baloney, or do you think there's something there?
100% agree. I mean, we talk about waves on the show, riding a wave. This is going to be a wave that's moving forward to 2026. If you think of the average white collar American's day, it is wake up from alarm on small screen, go to work on medium screen, go back home, watch big screen, lay in bed, watch small screen. That's basically the whole day for an average white collar working American.
It's true.
And that's not good. I mean, there have been numerous studies about, social media exposure, total exposure to your phone, having a negative effect on your mental health. And it's just been so unanimous. There's no one arguing that you should have more screen time for better mental health. And so I love this so much. I think you should figure out niches and opportunities around making money around this, because I think it's also just healthy for humanity. I think it's healthy that we get out more. We talk to more people in person. I'm part of a private club here in Charlotte, Casual Flex. Absolutely. I love it. It's one of my most fun times. You interact with people there. You get people that are improving themselves, and it's a blast. I get out of the house. You just, breathe some air. It's good stuff.
Is it phone free, Colin?
It's not phone free.
It'd be kind of tight if it was phone free, really.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Be kind of clean.
Country club, maybe. There's a couple country clubs where they're phone free, and that's pretty bananas. But
I kind of dig that. It's not anti-tech. It's anti-overdose of screen time, anti-overdose of stimulation. I do wonder, brands built on constant stimulation, I wonder what that means for them and their future. Perhaps they age out faster than expected. I wonder how strong this wave is going to be, especially as AI continues to develop and floods us with many things. I don't know if it's a phase, if it's a permanent correction, if we return to some strong elements of the analog world that we knew before 2005, essentially. But there's some great examples of this, brands that are leaning into it and riding this wave. Carson, I'm talking about the tin can here, which I believe we've mentioned on the show before. If you'll move forward and show us this picture of tin can, I love this product. I love this. Essentially what it is, it's a landline phone that your kids can use. There's no screen, and it allows them to talk to their friends who also have the tin can landline. And they can't call anyone and everyone. They can't receive calls, stranger danger, etc. But they can talk with their friends. I remember doing this in the 90s. You like stand in the hallway and you like talk to your little buddy. And I mean, this was so much fun for me. This I find to be a really compelling product. There's another example that's right here in Austin called Completing the Puzzle. And I guess I don't have a graphic for this. No, I do. Okay. Yeah, Carson brought it up. Okay. So Completing the Puzzle. Brian started this. This is a subscription where families, even if you don't have a family, people who just dig puzzles, they get a new puzzle every month. You can pick which kind you want. Do you want 2? Do you want 4? What kind of puzzles are you interested in? But it is a offline, analog, tactile behavior activity, which you can do yourself or with your loved ones or neighbors or friends. Actually look at each other, talk, and do said thing together. Fun times had by all. Brian's doing a great job, and he's got incredible stories about the things that he has received back in the puzzles because they return them. It's like old school Netflix. You get the DVD, you watch it, and you return it. Okay, they do this with these puzzles. I think one time he found a finger in one of them. So somebody didn't have fun. Somebody didn't have fun on that one. But then there's one more from Jess at Fire Team. I loved this tweet that he brought up, just sharing his own personal experience and what he's been doing with his family. And he's developed this great kind of familial activity where they just play board games. And I'll read some of this here. I started getting into this hobby 2 years ago, and it's been the best thing to happen to me and my family. Let me explain. We play a board game every night after dinner, several times over a weekend. It's 1 to 2 hours of high quality screen-free family time with my wife and 2 kids every day. Laughing, fierce competition, brain-burning puzzles, teamwork every day. Not only has this brought us all closer as a family, but it's just good fun. Daily family fun compounds in amazing ways. And he's got 200 plus games. The way that he calculates it, hey, if each one costs me $50 and we play it 10 plus hours and we get that quality family time, that's like $5 per hour of awesome family time, like totally worth it. I think, it's like we're happy to pay $17 to Netflix, $5 per hour of quality family time. I think we can all settle up with that. These examples, do you think these, you like these? I mean, do you see any hole in this? I love these.
I love it. We in my fiance's family, we do card games a lot, and so I'm a hyper competitive guy, and so over time, I've gotten really into these card games. And I really try to win every single time. And it's a blast. None of us are on our phones during the card games. Everybody from the family gets involved. You got like the older generation meeting the younger generation. It's just cool. It's fun. This is what we should be trying to move towards. We should try to move towards less screen time, more fun stuff like this, trying to get the family involved, get the community involved. This is it, folks. This is the big push for 2026. Please do it.
Please. I'm here for it. Offline, analog, family, memories. Don't we all want that?
On fire,
exactly.
Roasting marshmallows. Come on.
And capitalism, lots of profit back in the pocket for whoever.
Let me sell products for those.
Exactly. Let me monetize your desire for familial memories. That's it's a great path.
Yeah.
Benefit had to be had by all. I loved this marketing tactic from BuzzBallz. BuzzBallz and the 35K engagement ring. BuzzBallz, a creator, a crafter of fine cocktails. I think we all know, they are up there, top tier, top shelf, in their product and in all that they do and the benefit that they bring to humanity. They have produced a 35K engagement ring that is being sold, I would imagine, directly through them, but I'd also love to see it like for sale at Tiffany's, just because I think that would be hilarious. And the giant ring on top looks like a huge pink buzz ball. I love this as a culture hack because somebody's going to buy this thing. I don't think they're trying to sell 1,000 of these, but there's no telling how much earned media value they have gotten just by rolling this thing out and people talking about it and resharing it, just like the tweet that we are pulling up here. Do you think this is genius or is it noise? You like it? You don't like it?
Absolutely genius. And kudos to the leadership for letting the team run with this, because somebody pitched this and people had to be like, wait, we're a buzzball. I don't know if you know like what we're talking about here. And someone was like, no, believe me. Like, I have this idea. We got to invest in diamond rings. And so whoever pushed this through, kudos to you. This is exceptional. You've already gotten a ton of earned media. I'm not going to be buying one. But, I'd love to see who buys them. That would be one of the most interesting things, is who is buying this and what they're going to do with them. I'd be curious if they appreciate in value over like the next 5 to 10 years, because they're just basically a super collectible item at some point.
And too bad, because you're already engaged. So you already bought the ring.
It's too late.
Too late. And we know that you dropped $35K on that ring too. Yeah. So, kudos to you.
Yeah.
We have a very special person that has just arrived here, and he's got something very interesting to talk with us about. This is the one and only Dave Stickland, the co-founder and president of Popsmith, and we have got to get him inside of this show right now. Get in here, Dave. Get in here.
Yes. What's up? How's it going?
Yes. Dave, what's up, brother?
How are you guys? Good
Hey,
to see you.
Good.
Man, we're even better now that you're here, Dave.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
You know what?
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, what I love about you, Dave, of course, you have done an excellent job producing this bougie popcorn maker that is very delectable and delightful for all the aristocrats among us. It's very wise on your part, but this is not your first rodeo. You've been in our game for a long time, man. And what I love about you is that you've got sage wisdom for all of us that are still up and coming, endeavoring to build brands and get products on the market that people love and that can bring profit back to ourselves at the end of the day. Man, what I would love, since we've got you here, I want to get your wisdom on Costco. I want to get your wisdom on, getting products and other .coms and marketplaces, etc. But first, man, if you would give us just some background on Popsmith, how this came to be, your development of it, your take on it all. If you give us some background on that, we would love it.
Yeah, sure. You just made me feel super old, bro.
And
Despite the gray in my beard, okay. So we started Popsmith about 3 years ago. We've been in e-commerce. I've been working with Tall for 12 years. That dude is an OG. So if you ever want to hear stories about real early e-commerce, Tall started his first e-commerce company on a dial-up line.
Wow.
And had to buy equipment to be able to take customer sales calls to get that little blip that someone was trying to call him while he was on a Yahoo store,
That's
whatever.
crazy.
So I mean, that dude goes all the way back. And so what a treat to be able to learn from somebody like that. But we had a bunch of businesses that we were running. We had an electronics company called Guardline that we sold right around COVID. And got out of to start Popsmith. Popsmith was kind of our passion project where we decided we were going to take our big swing at a big boy brand rather than, we started in arbitrage, made our own little brands that we thought would do great on Amazon and crush, which they did. And then we wanted to play the big game. Tal had been an angel for a long time and watched a lot of brands come and succeed. And we knew we could do it. Raised a little bit of money in order to really develop something that had never existed. We had never done that before. We'd gone to Canton Fair and CES and, bought products from, that were sitting in different warehouses. But this time it was like, let's build something that never existed. So industrial design, industrial design, engineering, the whole deal to build something from the bottom up to fill what we saw was a gap in the market. Like the only other popcorn machine out there is the Whirly Pop, which is like a $40 aluminum product. They sell that in Crate and Barrel, Williams-Sonoma. We know what the volume is on that. We have another popcorn company called Franklin's. We white label that product. We know there's demand for that product. And we knew there was a demand for a product upmarket from that. And that, no one had talked about popcorn in a long time. It was an absolute dusty product.
Wow.
Or a dusty market. We looked at, what was happening with bagged popcorn and chips and snacks. And we were seeing this huge evolution on that side. Boom Chicka Pop was happening. Angie's had just gotten acquired right before we started Popsmith.
Right.
And it was like, there's blood happening in the chips aisle. And this popcorn and nuts aisle of the grocery store remains dusty as heck. And so that's, and it was like, well, we can go over there and win. And so that's the point of Popsmith. So we started with the popper because we wanted to establish the bona fides of that we know popcorn. And now you're going to start seeing us get into consumables where we will become, an authority in the popcorn space, not just the popcorn maker space, but we want to be the Orville Redenbacher of,
I love that
going forward here where we become the authority on, taking the time to make popcorn on your own.
Man, I love that. And I had a little intuition about that. I had heard somewhere that was going to be happening, that you were going to be, getting into the consumables and producing the popcorn, and that being available in other places and spaces. The thing that I love and still love and think is so smart about the popper itself is that, brother, when I see that thing, it's got nostalgia all wrapped up to it. it's like I've been brought back to the early 90s, but in a 2026 way. I mean, it's fancy. It's something that I want to show off. It's something that I want to do with the kids. I've got 4 kids. Don't feel old. I've got 4 kids. And, it's something that they would love to get in there and do and help mommy and daddy do. And, the wife likes it. It looks good in the kitchen. I just thought there was so much that was very smart about that, entering into this dusty.
Thanks. We felt coming out of COVID too, that a lot of people were forced back into the kitchen that normally weren't kitchen people, and they were looking for things to do. And so, whether you were baking sourdough or you were, learning to cook on your own again, or you were learning to do these things, it was just really an opportunity for us to say, why wouldn't you make your own popcorn? It's so easy. And it's just, it's such a better experience. That the quality of the product is infinitely better. When we did a ton of consumer market research before we came out with it. Matter of fact, I probably spent way too much money on consumer market research before we started. And that was one of the things that was like, do we clearly have, a 10x product that's like not even what the popper itself, but like the act of making popcorn at home, is it that much better? And how many people are aware of that, versus microwave popcorn or whatever? So like we have a clear enemy in microwave popcorn. We have a clear enemy in, like bagged popcorn, that we can say this is a superior experience to. So that made it really easy, and people are back in the kitchen. So yeah.
That's a great point. Boy, having an enemy can be really advantageous. It can be really advantageous for carving out some of that market for yourself. Well, I know, in my mind, and this applies in other categories, I think about this largely in athletics, but winning begets winning. You get some wins, that momentum starts to come, and then other opportunities open up in front of you. And I know that just outside of selling on your website, on your own.com, there have been other opportunities that have come your way. I think one of the kind of mama I made it moments is getting a foot in the door at Costco or something of the like, be it Target or others. Give me perspective on what that has been like for Popsmith.
Yeah. I've talked before this about like, 2023 was a really, coming out of the gate, and then into 2024 was probably the hardest year ever. I've talked about that other places. I've sworn to myself I'm not telling the cry story anymore about almost losing the business. But it's out there if you want to find it. But I will say that, we were incredibly desperate to find traction anywhere we could, and we were throwing Hail Marys left and right. And one of those places was retail. Like, if like we're trying to scale on our own, but like, let's go after as much retail as we can. And the product, as much money as I wish we had saved early on, and we spent a lot of money on branding, and that branding came in really advantageous when it comes to getting our foot in the door in all of those retail spaces. So the fact that we overspent on design and uniqueness and all of that really helps us stand out when you're trying to get the relationship with those places, or at least get the conversation started. So when we did get the opportunity to get our foot in the door with those retail markets, and we got Costco, Crate and Barrel, Williams-Sonoma, Sur La Table, we got all of those in year 2. And when you look at our original investor deck, we were trying to get those by year 4. So
wow.
And before I toot my own horn too much, all of them were like, except Sur La Table, all of them were like, you need to do .com first, and you need to show us .com is going to work before you go in store. Now, at the time, when you just need sales, and and what I needed more than anything from them at that point, while we're still trying to find product market fit, is I'll take it, because then I can say on my own website, on my own ads, I'm available at Crate and Barrel. I'm available at Williams-Sonoma, because I wanted to separate myself from what I consider DTC slop, right?
Yeah.
Like, every Instagram ad from a direct from China product, or, this isn't a Juicero. For those of you who are old enough to remember the Juicero, this isn't some bullshit product that, this is a real deal that like curators of products are choosing. So, So we dove right into that. In Costco, you know, we did really well that first year. We got Oprah's favorite things, you know, Oprah's back here. And like, yeah. And that, you know, drove a ton of organic traffic to all these channels. So all of those channels did really well. Like, oh my God, everyone's looking for this everywhere. And so that next year, Costco made a big bet and said, hey, we're not going to bring you into warehouse yet. You're not big enough as a company. Their position on hard goods, unlike, you know, we've seen friends of ours like pop off with consumer packaged goods. They'll take you in regionally on the consumer packaged goods. Their positions with us was like, we're going to go national and we're not going to go at all. And we don't want to be more than 20% of your company. So you need to keep showing it on this. And then maybe we'll do a road show with you next year. Maybe and they would string you along. So, but they said, and you know, I was like, look, we're growing. Please order from us and place a big enough order that you're not dependent on whatever stock I'm bringing in. Please, you know, for Christmas of this last year.
Yeah.
They placed that order finally in the middle of June.
All right.
And it was for a lot more than I had told them they should order. They were like, look, we go big or we go home. You don't understand the power of Costco. You know, they put a promotion budget on per unit and they're like, we need to order this number of units to have the promotion budget. We're going to crush. And we did it. And we begged our manufacturer to make it work. We were way past the date of like, get it by October, which we needed to do. You know, like it was a lot of pulling. It was a lot of like moving money around. We didn't have the money sitting around to do that big of a PO for Costco. And then we did it. And look, you know, at the end of the day, what I've learned about retailers versus, you know, especially .com retailers is they aren't interested in doing anything to help drive awareness to your product.
Oh, boy.
For a brand that's our size, which is we just hit 5 million this year. We're small.
Awesome.
We're, you know, the brand is punching above its weight as far as its branding and as far as it, you know, what people think of it. You know, people think we're always bigger than we are, but we're just starting. So like, you know, you want these accolades and you get so excited at the idea of being in Costco and wanting that huge hit to the home run because that would solve so many problems. And believe me, Costco writing a purchase order for that many units and paying me up, you know, 30 days after that instead of like drop shipping one at a time.
Right.
Like the idea of having that cash in the bank was so exciting for both of us because it's like, you know, like we're gonna have money like sitting there.
Yeah.
We just sold thousands of units instead of one. And you know, like so, of course we're gonna do this. But you know, like then when the units don't move because it's a product on Costco that's not clearly on the front end or something that someone's always looking for, well, now we have to go back and we have to generate demand ourselves. So now we're you know, begging my friend Josh, who runs AGM, you know, like, please God, I know it's Q4 and I know you're busy, but like, please come help me find some influencers for Costco to talk about my product. I know, and I need this in 2 weeks, you know, and like having Josh bend over backwards, you know, with his team to deliver for me on that. And, you know, paying out the ears to do that and then running our own a completely separate ad funnel for Costco to try to move units. And like, so then we pay an enormous amount of advertising spend to move units on Costco, to move those units. And I think the reason you asked me on is like at the end of this, you know, I look at the amount of money we made, the amount of money they wrote us a check for after rebates and, you know, returns and, you know, the cost, and then taking out the cost of generating all the awareness for them to go buy it.
Right.
Where I've taken traffic away from my website, away from Williams Sonoma, away from Crate and Barrel, away from Sur La Table. And then I sit down and I'm like, this is how much money we made and how much money we had to front to put it into that inventory.
Right.
Man, if I had taken that money at the size we are and I had just said, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into my meta funnel instead. Yeah. And I'm going to go generate all these sales on my own and build a lasting funnel. Because even if that had worked, 2020, that doesn't guarantee me the same PO in 2026 with Costco. But like scaling on Meta, is self-fulfilling, is self-sustaining, hopefully, knock on wood, in case something happens with it, you can continue to grow. And like, if I could go back in time, I would say, don't reach for this brass, like don't stretch to reach this big rung up, and instead, go back and keep building what you know is going to work and what is going to be life sustaining and giving. Find creative, do all of these things. And it was a second lesson in trying not to cut the line. And that's my thing. And we got tons of praise. Oh my God, you guys are in Costco. My investors, the friends and family,
they loved it.
So happy. Look at this. Look at these pallets that are wrapped going to Costco warehouse. And it's like, so amazing. And it's wonderful. And it's like, it feels like you made it. And it's like, they love the product, right? Like, they love the product. But at the end of the day, if you're a smaller brand that does not have a sustained amount of awareness where you are driving interest, it doesn't matter how good the product is unless people are actively looking for you. And the difference between .com at Costco and in-store Costco, or .com anywhere, is when you come to my sales funnel, you are coming to Popsmith. I'm bringing you in. I'm ushering you through my ads. I'm like, hey, come buy a pop. Here it is. Here's this Popsmith. You've watched 3 ads. Here it is. Check it out.
Look at how awesome it is.
The deal. Buy this. Be happy. Here's 7 emails on how to use it as you get it. You're so excited to get it home and open it up. Oh my God. You're going to do all this at Costco or anywhere else. You basically, if it was a on foot store, you would have to walk in. They would be in nowhere. You would see it nowhere. You would have to walk to the store clerk, which is the search bar, and you would have to say, hey guys, do you have Popsmith? And they would be like, I'll look in the back, right? Like, they're not putting it out in front of anybody. And so it's like, are you really carrying my product? Right? So which is more valuable to you, right? Like, putting money into the sale, or sticking money in somewhere that people have a great amount of foot traffic, but they're never actually going to see your product. And then you're being measured on how much natural demand that's generating.
Yeah.
They're measuring how many people are going up to that search bar and typing the product that they're looking for, which you are generating.
Yeah.
If you're doing a good job of generating and doing ads, the chances of them leaving your funnel to go look at Costco or some other .com, you failed as a marketer. You want them to come check out with you. You paid for that traffic, right? Like, so unless they really love the store, and Costco is one of those places, right? Of course we get bleed to Costco, but anyway, that's my Costco story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, and I'm glad that you are. And I think everybody in this same realm and revenue level, and I think what you said is very poignant. Everybody, because of your packaging, because of your branding, all of the things, and everybody would assume, man, these guys are up here, they're punching so far above their weight. But I think this is a great point, because a lot of the founders that I talk to, and I've got many friends here in Austin that are in the 5 and below range, or really talking more 3 and below. Their big hope is that retail is going to be the rescue. It's, man, my ads were struggling. We were doing great. Now it's not 2023 anymore. And the situation has changed. And if I can just get into retail, it's going to solve my problems. And I think this is a very poignant tale, because that's it's not necessarily the case. And I wish so much that they would have given you guys a test trial inside the store in the Washington area, or Northern California, or wherever. I think that would have given you guys a better experience there. But this, to me, is really needed, and it's a part of the conversation that I hope everybody who is 10 and below can hear, because sometimes, especially if you got to generate all that traffic to get people there anyways, you're better off just bringing people to your own website, because you can bring them in your funnel. You nurture them the way that you like. You give them a sweet deal. Maybe even somebody calls them on the phone. I've seen that happen before. So I think this is really needed. What would you say, Dave, heading into 2026? what advice do you have for brand builders now as you see the landscape? What do you think is needed in this upcoming year in general as you look across the space?
Yeah, I think for us and for me, my focus is I think 2026, like there's never been a time that founders need to be more focused on creative in their business. Post COVID, like I remember the days when, you could hire an agency and you could look at a weekly report on what Facebook was doing or Meta was doing, before it was Meta, Facebook, or,
Yeah.
you could do AdWords and it was a math problem and whatever, even back when Meta was just like, oh, well, we need to test these titles and we need to test this description. And, we're going to make all these different changes and we're going to have the static ad and we're going to do this. And, and it was something other people could handle. And I think that now, especially if you are below 10 million, and even probably higher, probably 20, if you are a founder, you are probably going to be the chief creative officer, chief brand officer.
That's right.
For way longer than you thought you were ever going to be when you started your business. And by that, I also mean you're going to be making decisions on how you spend money on this stuff. And it needs to be something that you are ready and willing to deploy capital on all the time. And because if you do not, you can't win. So it's not, I even now when I listen, I'll watch the great debate of like volume versus quality, on ads, right. And when I talk, and marketers will hear that conversation and they'll understand what that means. Founders will listen to that conversation and they'll go, oh, I just need to post 1,000 statics. And I'm like, no, bro, that's not what this is anymore. Like, that's not what it is anymore. Like, that's not what they're doing. They're not iterating on the same image anymore. They're doing 1,000 different video hooks, 4-second hooks. Like they're talking of deploying lots of money that you aren't thinking about. Like founders are cheap by nature. Like we are trying to protect the bottom line profit. We want to end every month in the black. So the last dollar matters. So, the idea of really understanding what we have to deploy and the ways to deploy it to get enough product, get enough creative to grow is really important. 2025 was a year where I was too focused on MER and too focused on making sure we were profitable all the time. And I'm realizing that we have to take some risks, and we have to find that curve, right? Like we have to find the right amount of creative that's going to help us find an exponential curve to growth, right? To go, what gets you from 5 million to 10 to 20 is not time. The only thing that gets you to volume is finding the right 7 ads that can produce enough volume over whatever it is by your margin, whatever that magic number is with your margin that you need to do that are just printing. You need to find those 10, you need to continue to 7 to 10 ads, and you need to be able to iterate on those and then watch them scale. If you cannot find those 7 to 10 ads, and you will probably have to buy 50 to 60 ads to find those 7 to 10 ads. But if you're not willing to do that and you can't do that, you will never find it. And if you are managing your business on a month-to-month basis on profitability every month and trying to, when you're bootstrapping, which we basically are, we raise some money to because it's expensive to make what we make, but if you're bootstrapping, sometimes you're just going to have to, let go of the idea. Like you are competing against venture capital businesses that are totally fine, being negative for years on end,
true.
Years and years, while they are trying to find that same signal you are. They are spending money to find the signal, and they know when it breaks right, then they will make money eventually. And they're just waiting for that number. So you're going to have to find that sweet spot between what you're willing to do, to how much of a loss you're willing to take sometimes, and then in profitability, because you can't have year-long profitability and growth. You can't.
I think this is a great point on creative, and you're right. It's not 2, 3, 4 years ago. It's not 5 years ago. It's not just multiple iterations of your product static photo that's from the website.
Yeah.
I remember there was one, and I say this because I think it's helpful for people to realize the best winning ad I ever made, I accidentally launched it. And the reason that I accidentally launched it is because I knew that my boss would not like it. I knew. I just knew based on his aesthetics and what he likes. I just thought like, yeah, he's not gonna like that one. But it accidentally got launched. Okay. And in a year's time, it became one of those ads that you were just describing. You need about 7 ads that crush different angles, etc. And then those are the really ones that help you scale the volume. That ad did us $1 million that year. Just that ad did us $1 million. And it, you know, you average it out, it was coming in at like a 10 ROAS, which is unusual. You know, I don't expect anything like that to happen now, but it was the right product at the right time and the right creative, and it just kaboom. And so I think this is a great point. And until you find those and get there, you got to keep trying more creative, more different angles, different hooks, different
founders got to get in front of the camera.
Yes.
Founders need to get in front of the camera, and they need to tell a story why they're doing the business, why they're doing this. They need to lead people on the journey. Organic content matters. You need to be sharing as much of it as you can. Even, you're never going to get around that. If you suck on camera, get good enough to be on camera. If you suck on camera, you'll probably be more genuine than the AI slop.
That's true.
Suck on camera.
That's
it doesn't matter as long as you're passionate and authentic, right? Like when we posted the Sur La Table video, like the biggest amount of people, which we did, like Tal and I both went to our respective Sur La Tables, shot video, and like we did a demo, and it was like we just shot video in it of ourselves talking about why we were excited to be in it. And the feedback we got was just like, wow, guys, this is totally genuine. Like you could really tell we were excited to be in a store, right? Like, and that's what's gonna hit for the person who was on the fence about whether or not to support you. Like there's so many products out there that are sold by lifeless private equity, and they're sold by companies who don't care about your body, like they don't care about you, and they're inflating prices, and they're doing all this stuff. And maybe they don't like the fact that I have to charge a tariff fee when they get to the website. Maybe they feel like the product is too expensive. But when they see the video that Tal is like there with his niece and really cares about making popcorn in this store, and oh my God, Mom and Dad, I made it. Like they probably know I'm not trying to screw them, too much.
Exactly.
And that builds trust enough that they feel like I can trust these guys.
Absolutely.
If they could sell it for less, they would. I'm going to buy this product. It's worth it. And like that's what matters. So like your brand position will be connected to how much you can connect to your audience. And then that means the founder, then fine, get out there and do it. But you have to connect.
That's a great point. Get on camera and build that trust. I think, especially in our oncoming, already here AI slop era, this is going to be more than anything, human to human, building trust, etc.
I know I'm over on your time, bro. But
I know you gotta go. You gotta go. I really appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to having you again in the future.
Thanks, brother. You're doing a great job. Everything is great. Say hey to Colin for me. Bye.
I will. We'll see you, Dave. Oh wow. Yeah. We kept Dave a little too long. We kept him a little too long, but I sure am glad that he came. There's a lot of sage wisdom in there. A lot of sage wisdom for all of us. And part of what Dave was talking about, Carson, I'm moving to AMP here. Part of what Dave was talking about was knowing your numbers. Don't we all need to know our numbers in 2026? We do. If you don't know what your CAC is, what your LTV is, if you don't know what is happening in your business on a daily basis, and you can't explain it in one dashboard, you may not know what's going on in your business at all. I've been in many situations where our data is scattered all over the place. Everybody's got their own sheets and the way they like to measure it, etc. The great thing about AMP and their platform is they allow you to scale with confidence in 2026. Don't we all need that? We do. My personal favorite tool of theirs is Lifetimely. But that's not all that they do. With Lifetimely, it allows you to get all of that juicy data in a visually pleasing visually pleasing dashboard all in one place and space. And when boss man or when other persons on your team have a question, you can easily point them and get them an answer. In my mind, when it comes to everything that's going on in the environment in our industry in 2026, you need a partner like AMP to help make it easy on yourself to grow your business and take things back up and to the right, like we all like. Go to useamp.com, get on their platform, explore all that they have to offer, and scale with confidence this year. Many thanks to our partners at AMP. I really love what Dave had to say. There's a lot of wisdom there. And I especially like his point about creative and founders getting on camera. You know, developing a product and bringing it into the world, not an easy undertaking. I mean, I myself have a product just over here to my left that I have yet to show everyone here, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Maybe I should do it now. It's not easy. It's a big undertaking. It's expensive. And then you get it out there into the world. And like he said, you're looking for every advantage and opportunity you can have. And getting it in Costco or getting it in other retailers, that's a real badge. It's a badge of honor, and it gives you some distinction. But at the end of the day, one has to make the best decisions for actually putting profit back in your pocket. Not a charity, it's a business. And I know consumers understand that, but for sure, those of us on the business side of it, we need to as well. And one of the easiest ways to build trust in that whole thing, do what your competitors cannot do, get on camera and talk. Get on camera and talk and build up a little relationship building. Let them in there, know your story. Really appreciated that. Okay, we've got one last story here before we jump off for the day and before everybody runs into the weekend. And that is Mehtab's marketing calendar hack. Carson, you got this? Yeah, I loved this from Mehtab. And I'm going to bring it up here and read it to you all. This was great insight on how to see what your competitors are doing. And can I fill out their marketing calendar for myself? Can I learn a few things there? Mehtab says this: I wasn't going to post this, but here's an easy one prompt hack to figure out a competitor's promotion schedule. Isn't that helpful? What promotions have they run? When have they run them? What can I take away for myself, iterate from, do differently from them? Number one, open deep research. I think he's talking about inside of Gemini, but maybe he's talking about inside of another LLM. Open deep research. Prompt: check X brand out using Mild. Mild is an email tool. And figure out what their promotion schedule is. See what elements they reuse frequently, which promotions they use when, and list this out in detail. The promotion schedule you build should show what the brand runs for specific seasonal moments, product launches, everything. Please take your time. With this GPT, will show you exactly what your competitors are running for the year or longer if you want. The thing that I love about this, this deep research, not a small thing. Do not neglect it. I know a lot of us right now inside of the marketing, online digital marketing world, we have a LLM, okay, that we like the most. And we use that, and we've put a lot into it, and we just go in and do our thing, and then we go scattered to all of the various responsibilities that we have, and we think that is AI enabling us to a vast degree. It is not. We're just skating on the surface there. And with deep research, what it will do is truly, it may take 10 minutes, but it will scour the internet and produce a 10-page document on what you want to know. It will actually footnote all of that information for you, okay, and cite it. I mean, this is a true feature that everybody in our world needs to take advantage of to make informed decisions. And I think Mehtab brought up a very tactile way in which to do that. This competitor that maybe I appreciate in some ways, but probably want to beat at the end of the day. What are they doing? When are they doing it? What products are they using? When are those promotions happening? And then how can I place myself wisely, not just to compete with them? What can I learn from them? But also, what can I do throughout the 4 quarters of 2026 to create a peak of revenue for myself? You know, most brands, they have natural peaks of revenue. Q4, obviously, if you're a baseball brand, it's going to be sometime in February, March, May, etc. You're going to have a natural peak of revenue. If you're a chocolate brand, it's going to be Valentine's Day, it's going to be Christmas, etc. But what can I do, learn from my competitors, and how can I create a moment of revenue for myself in this kind of off-scoured quarter where nobody's thinking about me? To take deep research like that, learn from your competitors, can take you about 10 minutes, put it inside of this prompt. What you're going to get is a great document that's going to give you really thorough information, footnoted information that's going to allow you to make smart decisions throughout the rest of your calendar year. And in light of that, Carson, I'm moving here to Siguno. We need to talk about our new sponsor here, Siguno. I am so happy to be working with them. I just got off the phone with CEO Chris the other day. Siguno is the only marketing platform, the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. That's right, inside of Shopify. What that means is that email, pop-ups, banners, reviews, all of it is right there where you already work. If you are on Shopify as a Shopify brand, that means your data doesn't need to be synced, doesn't need to be integrated. It lives in your Shopify dashboard. This is email 3.0, okay? Your Shopify data is the data. There's no disconnect. You don't need to duct tape things together as one has to with other partners in this realm. There's no syncing issues, etc. And this is a big reason why they won Shopify's 2024 Build of the Year. It's built for lean teams with big ambitions. That's who it's built for. And that's what I know the best. It's the time, it's the place that I've spent most of my career in e-commerce. And that's why I love them. People just like me, when I had my own brand or two, and maybe oncoming third, or when I was working inside of Bruce Bolt or other places, people who are marketing teams of one, or who are founders, a 1, 2, 3-man brand, and you are taking this thing to the moon. You got bright hopes. What you need is real people with easy operations that can actually help you solve your problems and scale your revenue on the retention side. Go to Siguno. They'll give you a free trial, but if you tell them that Colin and I sent you, they'll give you a longer free trial. Go to Siguno, check them out, tell them that we sent you. Many thanks to our partners at Siguno. As we wrap here, I am filled with hope, not just because the weekend is coming, but because there's so much changing in our space right here and right now. And the good news is that there's a lot of bright minds. There's a lot of bright minds who are here to help. We're actually going to have very soon a former teammate of mine. For those who don't know, I played football at the University of Texas, 2005, 2009. One of my former teammates, he has a bright, budding new brand that he has brought to market. We're going to bring him here on the show, and I'm going to give him my full playbook. Everything that I would do that people would want to pay me lots of money for, because I've made them lots of money in the past. Everything that people would want to know from me, I'm going to lay it all out for them for free right here on the show. And I'll just tell you this too. I get very generous, wonderful opportunities to consult quite often, and I love doing that. But actually, I don't want to charge you anything. If you'll just come here on the show, and I'll give you all my knowledge for free. How about that? You do that, come on this show, we'll just talk, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And, any information that you don't want to give away to the rest of the world that's watching and listening on X, that's okay. We can keep that. You just keep it in your back pocket. But for anybody who wants to, I'll happily consult you for free. Just come on the show and we'll talk. And that wouldn't be possible without incredible partners like Siguno and Postscript and AMP. And we wish you a happy day, a happy weekend. Let us all have ROAS through the roof, and may our CACs go lower and lower. And I hope there's a lot of black at that bottom line. May your P&Ls ever be in your favor. And we will talk to you next week. Thanks from Colin and I and producer Carson. We shall see you on the other side.